Hello, Casey from interwebkaiju here, and first I'm going to bore you with some backstory to the video. I could have sworn I watched part of this on YouTube, which didn't have English subs, but if you're on a PC you can select auto translate, which isn't ideal but better than nothing. I went back to it and it doesn't work anymore. It just displays squares, I guess because it's trying to generate incompatible symbols, which shouldn't be happening when translating to English. So I bought a boot listed as having English subtitles, and admittedly it does, but they suck. Looks as if multiple character dialogue are put into one sentence, often stays on screen long after it was said, with dialogue happening since not being translated. Anyways, I guess this is as good as we are going to get, so let's get to the winner of a poll that happened a while ago, but I held off until at least these subs were available. It is The Fairy and the Devil. The Fairy and the Devil is a 1982 Taiwanese kaiju film said to mix Clash of the Titans, kaiju, kung fu, and horror. Right off the bat, Big Monster Man comes out of the mountain and starts attacking a castle, and then a serpent comes out of the water to attack him. Credit cards roll over a freeze frame where the eyes look pretty comical. It doesn't cut away from the action after the credits either. First 10 minutes are just packed with monster action. As usual, I'm not going to go over the whole movie point by point, but if you're looking for monsters, the intro of the movie will hook ya. I mean, if they are up to your standard of monsters, I know some of you are sticklers. So there's the two monsters in the pre-credit sequence, this white monkey, this sea creature, who also seems to be able to turn into this guy. And honestly, the suits look fine. Creatures have an array of powers, rotoscoped lassos, laser eyes, teleportation. It keeps things interesting, though the basics speak louder to me. Just look at this dropkick. Shit's good. I'm down for more monster movies with martial arts fights in them. Gotta give props to basically any and all decapitation scenes. There's some flying and exploding masks against a void backdrop for the Wacky World Lounge. Did I mention the serpent flies? Usually floating during its fights. Very cool. Two of them even. So I think the humans are transforming into the serpents, which is also kinda cool, though their fight takes place in a totally different terrain than they were at pre-transformation, and honestly this fight is rather lackluster. There's this comedically long back and forth from flying axe to man it's approaching. There are a lot of flood sequences, which also go on too long and sadly don't feature too impressive or much city or terrain destruction. There's some familiar roars. Parts seem disjointed. Remember that serpent that comes out of the water at the start? I believe he just disappears for a little bit of time while the other monsters fight. I believe the monster footage was taken from other films and is reused in more than just this film. A large portion of the finale is very hard to see. The subtitles again didn't help much, and at times you can tell there wasn't a quality check, calling monsters pork and yeast even. Depending on how long you've been watching the channel, you may know that sometimes I just watch movies in languages I don't understand without subs because there aren't any, and still get kind of a grip of the story. Here, even with the low tier subs, I was quite confused for most of it. Just kind of sat back watching things happen in front of me instead of following along. Not only were the characters uninteresting, honestly it was kind of hard for me to differentiate some of them. A lot just pop up briefly and then leave to make room for other likewise uninteresting people. The monster action is okay. The human fights are few and very brief. The rest is quite forgettable, if my brain even registered them into memory at all. Though the mix of fantasy kung fu and giant monsters is something I would surely welcome more of, so maybe I should delve into more of the Taiwanese monster movies. But for The Fairy and the Devil, just check out the fight sequences of this on YouTube and save yourself some time. Thanks for watching.